I'm going to hit one, but again, I'm going to focus on my posture. We got Katherine Roberts here for yoga golfers. And again, we can always control our setup. Jack Nicklaus says that 95% of the swing occurs before you swing. So let's make sure I have a good setup. I'm going to get myself in there. Nice and tall with my setup. I'm bending at my hips. I'm not sitting. I'm not going to round. I'm simply taking a bow and allow my body to turn freely on both sides of the swing. Both sides of the swing. Hi, guys. I'm Tim Mahoney, the Global Director of Education and Coaching for Troon, and welcome to our Player Development Month, the month of May. And I'm here with Katherine Roberts, and we're talking about distance, how to become a little bit longer with all our shots. We talked about Rory McIlroy trying to increase speed, Tiger Woods trying to increase speed, Bryson DeChambeau, all golfers trying to hit the ball a little bit further. And there's some concepts we can use with equipment. There's some concepts we can use golf swing, and most importantly, with your body to help you play golf for a lifetime. What can you do to move a little bit better? And with Katherine's going to talk about the lower body in the swing. The lower body must be activated. The lower body must move. Again, movement matters. You got to move during the golf swing. This club doesn't move itself. Last time I set this club, it's not moving itself. So you got to move. You got to move. Use your legs as you make your swing. Also, if you think about it, during a round of golf, you might walk 5 miles, 6 miles. If you're weak in the legs, how's your endurance level going to be? Not very good, okay? So if you get tired, what's going to happen to your focus? You're going to lose your focus. Also, the glutes. And the glutes, if I were asked, what's the most important aspect of power in the swing, it's the glutes. They must move freely on both sides of your swing, but only once during the golf swing are they both activated. And that's at address. So as I'm at address, as we talked about with the importance of posture, both my glutes are activated. As I make my back swing, again, that's controlled by my right glute. As I make my downswing, that's led by the left glute. Okay, so again, as we try to increase distance, as we try to increase mobility, think about how you can use your ground a little bit better, right, with the swing, how we can use our glutes a little bit better, how we can use the legs a little better to help you with speed, and most importantly, with endurance. Again, when you get tired, what happens to your mind? It wanders, correct? All right, so let's try to be more consistent. And here's Katherine to help you with some exercises to help you with those aspects of the golf swing.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name is Katherine Roberts. I'm the founder and president of Yoga for Golfers. Today we are going to dive into how to generate more power and distance, and really the importance of utilizing what's called ground reaction forces. We call it GFR, ground reaction. All great athletes know how to use the force of gravity to push against that force of gravity to generate power. And here we're talking about power and distance. Okay, so everything we do today is going to be a standing posture, a standing series that will move your body in all 3 planes of motion, which is exactly what happens during the golf swing. Okay. The other thing that we are going to focus on is what's called single leg glute activation. The only time that your glutes, which is the most powerful muscle in your golf swing, are activated simultaneously is when you're in your address position. As soon as you begin your takeaway, your right leg will load more than your left. And I believe the research proves that at the top of your backswing, if you have a really efficient golf swing, your right glute is 85% more loaded than your left. Obviously, you should get through impact into your finish position, your left glute is extremely more loaded than your right, because you should actually be able to even just lift your right foot off the ground, okay? So the other thing we're gonna work on is getting good internal and external hip mobility and good shoulder to hip disassociation. But like I said, we're gonna first start to focus on how to use the ground, okay? So grab your club, and we're going to utilize a yoga pose called chair pose, but essentially it's a squat. And if you're watching golf and you watch the slow-mo of the golf pro, it looks like they're coming into a squat to press against the ground to create explosive power. And the reason it looks that way is because that's exactly what they're doing, all right? So let's start with this chair pose. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me from the side. And you can either hold the club close to your chest. If you have back pain, I would say hold the club close to your chest. If you're okay, you can hold the club up here. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring the club somewhat over your head. Not all the way back here, but about a 45-degree angle. Okay, now, take a moment and think about your feet, okay? Where is the weight distributed in your feet? Are you more in your heels, more in your toes, more right, more left? Let's bring your weight distribution to be neutral. From here, I'm going to have you sit down like you're sitting in a chair, okay? Maintain a good upright posture. You can have a slight hip hinge as you're looking at the ground, that's fine. Now think about the ground about a foot below you. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to push your lower body about a foot into the ground, simultaneously dragging your feet apart without actually moving your feet. Okay, now we're going to do that again. So you're going to sit back. So if you notice, my knee is not over my toes. I'm sitting back so I can turn my glutes on. From here, think about the ground 2 feet below you, what that might look like. Maybe it's cement, or if we're on the course, maybe it's some dirt, right? So take a big inhale here. Exhale, press your lower body into the ground, and now drag your feet 2 feet apart without moving them. Okay, just pause for a moment. You should feel a lot of activation in your lower body. All right, here we go. We're going to go 3 feet now. So bend and squat back. Think about 3 feet below the earth. Okay, take a big inhale and exhale. Drive your legs 3 feet through the ground as you pull your legs 3 feet apart. Okay, and now just take a moment here. See how connected your body feels to the earth. It should feel incredibly connected. And then I want you to just get into your address position and just have that sense of feeling the power and connection to the ground, okay? Now, I also like to do that when I'm going out to practice. Even before I hit one ball, I do this little exercise right here because it helps me feel connected to the ground, all right? So now we're gonna go into what's called Warrior 2 to a triangle pose. So start with your feet nice and wide. Okay, you're going to pivot your left foot out and pivot your right foot in. All right, now look down and make sure that your knee is in line with your toes, okay, and that your leg isn't internally rotating too much. So now we're going to come into a pose called Warrior 2. So bend into your knee, right? So I've got the left glute is activated, the right hip is in extension, and I'm using my feet to push into the ground. I could do a whole series just on foot function and ball swing. Okay, now take a breath here as you inhale, and now exhale, push into the ground to straighten your leg and squeeze your legs together, okay? Let's do it again. Inhale, bend. Good. Feel the ground. Take a big inhale, and when you exhale, press into the ground and drag your legs together. Now we're gonna add the upper, so inhale, push into the ground and bring your arms up. Exhale as you straighten your leg and drag your legs together. We're coming into a triangle pose. So leg comes straight. Inhale to bend into the knee, coming to Warrior 1. Exhale, push into the ground and drag your legs together to come into triangle. Really nice. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, bend, bend, bend. Press into the ground, squeeze those legs together, and come into triangle pose. Very good. Now let's come back into Warrior 2. We're going to add rotation here. Forearm to the knee, but I'm not dumping into my shoulder. I'm lifting up, okay? I'm going to take this left hip and pull it under and lift in this right arch. So my lower body's working really hard right now, okay? So inhale to open, exhale to rotate from your center and tap the ground. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotate and tap. Good. Keep lifting in your arches. And exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale to open. All right, let's turn your hand this way. Stretch your arm over your head. Think about all this low lat extension that you want to get, but don't let your rib cage pop out, right? Keep everything centered and strong and powerful in this canister known as your center. Now prepare your mind. Inhale, exhale, push into the ground to bring your body up. Fantastic. Great job. We'll switch sides. Okay, so pivot your right foot out. Your left foot can pivot in a little bit. All right? So hands are on your waist. You're going to bend into the front knee. Exhale, push into the ground and drag your legs together. Good, we'll just do a few of those. And I'm actually going to stop talking now because I want you to think about your own breath. Move with your breath. Good, so add the arms. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the legs together and then hinge into a triangle pose. Good, inhale into warrior two. You can look over your right fingertips. Make sure your posture is straight up. Exhale, squeeze those legs, pull the power up from the ground and hinge. Gorgeous, so good. Come down. And last time. Beautiful. And then come down. Let's bring the forearm to the knee. Left arm is up. Keep the rib cage down. Inhale deeply. Exhale, rotate and tap. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotate and tap. Good. Just a couple more. And then hold here. And you can extend your arm over your head, lifting up out of that right shoulder, squeezing your legs towards each other. Take an inhale to prepare your mind. Exhale, push into the ground and let that activation of the ground reaction forces lift you up. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's just do one more. I'm going to have you grab your club. Okay. This is going to activate a hamstring curl. So if you remember the exercises, remember the old gym exercises where you're laying on your belly and you do a hamstring curl. That's what I want to work on here is the hamstring curl, the single leg glute activation, and hip hinge, and using the ground to bring you back up. So that's what we're targeting here, okay? So I'll show you from this side, okay? So the club will be, the club will be in your right hand, all right? You're gonna come into that chair pose like we did before. So you come into this chair pose. Now from here, I'm going to hamstring curl my back leg. I'm continuing to kick my heel up to the ceiling because that's gonna turn my right glute on like crazy. I keep a bend in this left knee. From here, I'm going to hip hinge. Okay, so I should look almost like the letter T with my upper body, but this leg is kicking up. I'm gonna take a breath to prepare. Exhale, push into the ground to bring your body up and lower the leg down. Okay, and then you're gonna switch sides. So squat, load the right hip, hamstring curl the left, hip hinge, kicking this heel up to the ceiling, the sole of the foot, push into the ground to bring your body up, right? Fantastic exercise. Switch sides, one more set. Chair, feel the ground, hamstring curl, turn on the hamstring more to hip hinge, and then push into the ground to bring your body up. Come back to chair last time. Chair, hamstring, hip hinge, load up this right glute, and then come on up to standing. Very good, awesome. Okay, last one. I might have said that was the last one, but if you take class with me, you know I have a tendency to kind of say, oh, we'll do one more. So let's just do one more. And this happens to be one of my favorite exercises too. So what you're gonna need to do is come to the wall, all right? And my right hip is gonna touch the wall, right? I'm gonna bend my knees a little bit. Right hand down, right leg up, and I hip hinge. Again, I should look like the letter T, so I don't have a C posture like this. I'm flat, okay? I have a nice big bend in this glute, I'm sorry, in this knee, so this glute is fired up. Now from here, I'm gonna inhale to open, and then exhale down. We'll do 5. So this really is your golf swing because you have more weight on one leg, you have one glute that's more active than the other, and you're rotating your spine over that single leg glute activation. Very good, stand up, and then we'll switch sides. Okay, so come into a little bit of a chair, right? Left leg is back, hip hinge, and hold here. Hands are down. If you had a yoga block or something, you could put that here. Okay, from here, inhale, open. This is your backswing if you're a right-handed golfer, right here. And exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Good. One more. And last one. Excellent. Now push into the ground to bring your body up. Okay, so there we have a great progression that you can do utilizing yoga for golfers to help you with the single leg glute activation, to turn on the power of the glutes, to use the ground to create more ground reaction forces, to get you more power, more distance, so that you can play better, play longer, and play stronger.